We have another sports card market review using Card Ladder. We're going to start off with the biggest increases for the last week regarding basketball cards. As you can see here, we have in the top spot going up 112%, Kristaps Porzingis' base Prism rookie card and a PSA 10. All of these will be PSA 10s. As we can see here, last sold price was $155 on October 2nd. Looking down at the charts, this was a card that in August was down to $60 at one point, August 10th, and is now back to $155. But looking even farther back, as you guys can see, someone bought this in January for $379.99. So it's a card that's been pretty much on the downtrend for the most part since early this year. But I think with Luka prices going up, this is just a standard that his running mate, second best player on the team, in my opinion, is also going to see some bumps with all the Luka hype going on. So nothing too crazy going on here. I checked. There was no news. So personally, I'm not going to go out and buy any Porzingis unless, in your opinion, they can make a playoff run and potentially see the prices go back up towards that $300 mark. So with that said, let's go to card number 2. Matisse Thybulle, his PSA 10 Silver Prism, last sold price for $150 on October 1st. This is a card that pretty much has stayed relative to $200 to $150. Broke it back in last December for $220. So it's one that fluctuates. Let's see a bottom price. About $75, even $66 back in June. So right before this $150 sale, it was around $86, $77 was the last price right before this $150, which was a pretty good price, not too crazy considering the one right before was $86 and $87. But this $150 is quite a jump. And it looks like the reason Thybulle's getting a jump is with the assumption Ben Simmons will be leaving the Sixers. It's presumed that Matisse Thybulle is going to take a bigger role on the 76ers and is probably going to get more minutes, more playing time, and with that, obviously, increased stats. So that's kind of a play on Ben Simmons getting traded. Side note, I think getting into a little Ben Simmons just to sell on the hype of whenever he gets traded would be a decent play if you get into a lower end rookie card, in my opinion. I'm holding on to a Panini Studio, which is kind of an offset, but it's a nice looking card. I'm just holding that until he gets traded. Here we have Devin Booker up 88% on his 2015 Hoops rookie card. Right before this $300 sale price on September 29th, it did $157. So I don't know if this buyer saw that this sold for almost half the price right before. But I haven't heard anything crazy about Booker, him getting traded or anything like that. So I think this was just a possible overpay. Maybe this was the only one on eBay. We can check. Yeah, it was best offer, and it seems like they took it for $300, which, in my opinion, that's an overpay. If the last was $157, $202, $172. So just make sure you guys check the last sales so you're not overpaying like it seems this card was. Let's flip it over to see the biggest decreases. I already looked at this DeJounte Murray sale. The one prior to this $85 sale was an overpay by a decent margin, so that's the reason for that. Otherwise, we have an insert for Zion and Luka. Nothing too crazy. Another insert for Zion here. The more interesting ones are just the Silver Prism Keldon Johnson's and the Dieren Fox base Prism. So this is a card that, golly, back in January did $982. And you can just see it just fell off a cliff down at one point to $114. That is insane. From $980 to $114 in less than 6 months. So let's see, 270 on September 29th, and then this $200 price. Yeah, I looked at it was trending around 250 to 290, so I think this $200 price is just it getting back to normal. Yeah, I think that's a good buy, honestly. There's a decent chance, worst case scenario, it probably goes up to 250 again. So being able to snag it at 200, I would feel very confident with that. With that said, let's check out Dieren Fox. His base prism pop 2461, honestly not terrible for a 2017 class. Last sold price 110. At one point in the highs, this was honestly treks around. Oh, it got up to 280 around Christmas of last year, 285, and he's now at 110. Before that, it was around 150, 140. So I think this 110 price seems to be a little bit of a sneaky type steal right here. Yeah, because it really trends around 130 to 150. So to be able to get it at 110, let's see if that was an auction. No, best offer. Someone just looking to move off it. I think that's a really solid buy there. I'm not a huge Dieren Fox guy, but if you can find something around $100 to $110 on this base prism, I think that's a decent buy. Even though it's base with a relatively low pop, I don't think that's a bad buy. And obviously there's a lot of sales, so there are a lot of people looking to purchase this card. It's not one that has very few sales, so I think that would be a safe buy if you guys can find that around $100. Not advice, just my opinion. Going up, Herbert, silver mosaic, so the mosaic, up 86%. One that previously did 355 and now just did 650. Wow, what a monster increase. Yeah, I mean, for one that was doing 300 to 360 to all of a sudden buy it at 650, in my opinion, that's an overpay. I know he's been playing very well. I'm not disregarding that, but to pay almost double, I mean, I think there's a great chance this goes back to 300 to 350. So I'm not super positive on that price at 650. Two is base prism going up 56%. Supposedly it was announced he's going to be able to play on October 17th, I believe. So I think this is just a bump on him coming back. So if you're holding Tua and you don't think that he's going to turn into anything or turn the season around, this might be a decent time to sell. Or after you can hold it till the 17th, and after the game, if he does well and you want to move out of it, that might be a good time to sell. Here we go. Derek Carr still going up. The Raiders are doing really well. So 31% increase on his 2014 Prism rookie card. Tyreek Hill up 27% on his PSA 10 silver. It's a little interesting. Obviously, Tyreek's a beast. The Chiefs are not doing too hot, though. 275 was the sale previous, and then 350. Yeah, in my opinion, I wouldn't purchase this at 350, just with how the Chiefs are playing at the moment. But, I mean, Tyreek Hill's a great player. This doesn't touch over 350 too often, though. It was at 400, 440 back in January. So I wouldn't pick this. I would have to, pick this card up in the lows right here. Definitely under 250, but probably closer to 200 in my opinion. Alrighty, so let's hit the biggest drops. This is kind of a one-off one I saw. It's a low pop of 70. It's the XRC Joe Burrow PSA 10, down 35%. It's not one that sells too crazy often. I think it was just one that people were overpaying for, $1,200 to $1,400, and then it got a little more realistic to $910. Yeah, definitely an auction. So I think people were kind of still hyped up on Joe Burrow overpaying for his rookie cards, and then it came back to earth on the auction. Because, I mean, Joe Burrow, they won their last game versus the Jaguars, so I don't see anything too crazy there. Let's go back. Yeah, Joe Burrow, again, his base mosaic down 31%. That's a little more interesting. I know it's base, but I'm surprised Joe Burrow's dipping a little bit, $86. Because I don't think $124 is a bad price for this. But 86. I mean, I'd probably pick up this card for $86 in a PSA 10. Pop 637, but that's going to get increased with PSA cranking out all these gradings from their backlog. Even though I'd probably pick this up for $85, I'd pay more just to get the silver version of this mosaic, the mosaic, or just any type of color mosaic in a PSA 10. You're probably not paying too much more to add some color into that, and I think that's going to be worth the money. Saquon, no surprise, they're not doing hot at all. Well, him personally, at least, down another 28%. He's been falling off a cliff this entire season, so we won't get into that too much. Another drop, Myles Garrett silver, down 22%. We'll take a quick glance at that. Pop 129, lasted 271 prior to this 210 sale. Honestly, not that crazy of a drop. It's a card that fluctuates between 175 and at one point 323, so that was probably not the best buy at 323 unless you're a fan. But yeah, nothing too crazy, just little price fluctuations, $50-$60. It happens throughout the season. Nothing too crazy there. Baseball will finish real quickly. Aaron Judge going up probably with the Yankees head to the playoffs. This is a really cool card, actually. Top Chrome catching refractor PSA 10 rookie card, pop 690, last sold for $247.50. We'll see at the highs, it was going for $360 back in March, and right before the sale, it's sold multiple times around $178, and this last sale was for $250. So obviously this is a card that you guys can pick up around $175 pretty frequently. Alrighty, so personally, I'm not touching this card unless I can get it for around $110, maybe to $150, because it does seem to trend above $200 pretty frequently. I think I would do decent. Any of us would do decent if we were able to get it between $110 and $140. So let's very quickly move on. Just a random Mike Trout base paper Mookie with the Dodgers going to the playoffs. I think that's the reason for that bump. We won't get into that too much. So let's speed it up and let's go to the end. We have Ohtani dropping with them not making the playoffs. Makes sense to me. Kind of a one-off blue wave refractor, Pete Alonso. I think Pop 13, not a lot of sales. This probably got hyped up with him winning the home run derby. Okay, yeah, see. Not the home run derby, but it sold for $460 almost a year ago. So we're going to disregard that because that's just not really what we're looking for. As we can see, Juan Soto's Bowman Best, which isn't a popular set, so that's probably the reason for that 24% drop. But if you guys would be interested in this card, now it's probably not the best time. It's a card that, yeah, was doing $99 in June, $150, $130. I think with them not making the playoffs, this card and his other cards will probably see a drop, so you can probably pick up one of his for even cheaper than that. Last card we're going to check out, Vlad's PSA 10 Refractor. Yeah, hovers around $300 right now with the last of $319 on September 30th. Just a month ago, it was doing $450, $460. The playoff run is looking pretty tight. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get in, so I'm expecting further drops. We'll check out his PSA 9. Card last sold for $171 on the 28th when they were still fighting for the playoffs. At this moment, it doesn't look like they're going to get in, so I'm expecting some bigger drops and more opportunities to pick up some Vlad. Coming up for you guys, we're going to have a giant mail day. I've been ordering a lot of sports cards, a lot of singles, so we'll have that coming in next week. The cards finally shipped out, so I'm going to have a really cool mail day for you guys. And on October 16th and 17th, I have local card shows that I'll be attending. I'll be getting some autographs from some prior players and some current players. So be sure to check out that video. Like, comment, and sub. It's greatly appreciated. And if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you will be notified when we drop all of these videos for you guys. So if you enjoy them, please do that. And I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. And I'll catch you on the next.